Climate change is one of the most challenging issues facing the world today. It is negatively affecting people all around the world and will continue to do so in the future. One of the most important effects on people and our societies is the impact that climate change has on human migration. Many people think that migration driven by climate change will happen in the future, but people are already on the move. This is due to impacts like sea level rise, coastal erosion, temperature increase, climate variability, and extreme events like hurricanes and floods that are increasing in intensity and frequency. Every year, millions of people are forced to flee their homes because of environmental disaster. In 2022 alone, over 32 million people were internally displaced, meaning forced to migrate within their own countries because of sudden shock events. More than 1.1 million people were displaced by drought in Somalia alone. And these figures do not account for all of those who move because of more gradual changes, like sea level rise. Europeans are also on the move because of a changing climate. Disasters, primarily floods, storms, and wildfires, have displaced more than 400,000 people in Europe since the start of 2021. Floods forced some 83,000 people from their homes in Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium in July of 2021. In May of 2023, Italy saw the displacement of some 36,000 people by floods and storms in the Emilia-Romagna region. But the countries and continents of the world that are most vulnerable to climate change are developing countries. Most of these countries have little to no historical responsibility for greenhouse gas emissions, but they will bear the global brunt of its adverse impacts on our environments, especially in places dependent on farming, fishing, forestry, and other natural resources. In some small island developing states like Fiji, entire communities are being relocated. You may have heard the term climate refugees to refer to all of those people forced to migrate because of climate change. However, you should know that legally there is no such thing as a climate refugee in international law. The 1951 Geneva Convention, an international treaty allowing for protection of refugees worldwide, does not include climate change or any other type of environmental hazard as a justification for obtaining refugee status. So while millions of people may consider themselves refugees, fleeing the unjust and unequal impacts of climate change, at present they are not entitled to international protection. One of the misconceptions around climate refugees is also the idea that people are moving internationally, when most people today who are negatively affected by climate change migrate within their own countries. We want to minimize the number of people forced to flee their homes, in Europe and abroad, but migration is not always a bad thing. For many people who are affected by climate change, migration is a survival strategy that saves lives. And when people are given choices and able to migrate in safe, orderly, and regular ways, migration can offer more than survival. It can offer migrants and their families a way to adapt to a changing climate and provide better opportunities and more safety and security. In some cases, it may be those people who are unable to move out of harm's way, trapped in dangerous environments, that suffer the most at the hands of climate change.